Peace be with you and welcome to Divine High Priestess Activated, Acclimated. I love you, Divine High Priestess. Come on in. Let's have a real conversation. Hopefully everybody is doing good. Hopefully everybody is doing well. In a world full of a whole bunch of things going on by way of ebb and flow, I am so proud of us because consistently maintaining a high frequency is absolutely a supernatural power. It has become quite natural for you. So let's talk about your dream team. Your dream team. Who's the dream team? Your dream team, right? Your guardian angels, your divine ancestors, the Most High God. That's your dream team. Your intuition, your higher self. The people in your spirit within that make things happen. Your dream team, right? And then you manifest that on the external, you know? You know how you meet people and they're just really, really nice? You've manifested that. That's something that you've projected out into the world. And so nice people are what you are meeting. Good people are what you are meeting. Your dream team, right? So let's talk about it. Now, your dream team could also consist of maybe somebody that does your hair. Maybe your doctor. Maybe your nail person. Maybe the person that does your pedicures. Maybe your trainer. That is your dream team. These are people on the external that help you maintain your physical, spiritual body, right? And in turn, it's an equal give and take type of a relationship. You learn something from them and they learn something from you, right? So let's get into it. The dream team. Finding your dream team. Finding your soul tribe. Yeah, that's where we're at. You know? High vibrational people. What is it that the universe wants us to know? Remember to take a break. This says something about walking barefoot. Wow, that's interesting. I just had an image of that. Walking barefoot. Do you remember what it feels like to have fresh grass between your toes? When was the last time you allowed your bare feet to touch the earth and feel everything underneath them? Give yourself a moment to walk barefoot. Invite all the sensations into your body. Walk slowly and calmly. Slow, calm movement that invites vulnerability, like walking barefoot, can help ground you in the moment. Feel your body relax into this exercise. I love this for us. I resonate with that. Something about taking your shoes off and feeling the energy beneath your feet. You know, the earth is always giving us signs, symbols. If you really tap in, you're really grounded, you can feel what the earth is telling you. You can feel what is being transmuted. You can feel your connection to the earth. Hence the fact that you're getting grounded, right? This says it's not about the destination. Whoa. Come through, Divine High Priestess Activated. The universe is saying it's not about the destination. It's all about the experience. You don't need to be somewhere or have something to be happy. The experience is always more memorable than the actual destination. It's the journey, you know? It's the end game. It's like, hey, I'm going to go over there. But between now and the time that I get to wherever said point is, the in-between time, that really is the experience. That's really what keeps us in the now. That's what I just heard. If you think more about the destination than you do the actual journey, then you will miss out on all the lively and lovely experiences while on the way. Don't measure success by where you have been, but by what you have learned in your journeys, plural. Be aware of how you quantify success. What does that look like to you? What does that feel like? Becoming more aware of our thoughts and patterns allows us to reduce them. By reducing our thoughts, we have more time to be in the present moment. Whoa, I like that. Thank you, universe. That's a beautiful reminder. Because, you know, sometimes as the high priestess, because we can see so much, because we can see outcomes, you know, we absolutely have to work a little bit more than I think most people with being in the present moment. Because we can pick up on so many frequencies, one has to know how to turn it off and minimize the energies. How to get rid of certain energies and sift through the energies. I definitely resonate with that. Let's just see what's going on for the beautiful high priestess. Something about your dream team, high priestess. Okay, who's your dream team? Is that your trainer? Is that your teacher? Is that your hairstylist? Maybe you do your own hair. Who is your dream team in your mind's eye? Your guardian angels. Building your dream team absolutely will keep you healthy and well. Finding people, places, and things to aid and abet your journey by way of a high frequency will always be a good, healthy spiritual diet. Holy Spirit, beautiful universe, beautiful divine high priestess is activated. What is it that the universe wants us to know? The Nine of Swords is in the reverse. Whoa. Something about getting out of your head, minimizing certain thoughts. Also, high priestess, it's so important to know when something is your thought or when somebody's projecting something onto you. You know, high priestess, we do readings, we do cleansings, we are, you know, empaths, we're empathetic, we pick up on certain frequencies. It is so important to know which thoughts are yours and which thoughts are not yours. That's like sometimes if I feel a weird energy or something's off in the environment, I know immediately this is not my energy. This is not what I planned for the day. I'm a naturally happy person. Doesn't mean that I'm happy all the time, but 99.9% of the time, honestly, I strive to be happy. I'm committed to that for myself because that does me good. So when the energy is off, I know, wait, where's this coming from? It could be somebody projecting this out into the atmosphere by way of an illusion. But with the Nine of Swords in the reverse, I feel like this represents us getting stronger. Yeah, being able to decide and or decipher between what energies are real and what is not. What is it that the universe wants us to know? Something about that eclipse energy, y'all. Something about that eclipse energy. Projections that went out. We all kind of felt that like weird ass murky energy. Retrograde energy. The full moon, the black moon. It's like remnants of illusions. Nine of Swords in the reverse. But I feel like we're not really pulled to and fro like we used to be with that moon cycle. You remember the moon cycles used to be difficult. Retrograde used to be hard. Not so much with the sun. The sun is enlightenment. It's like we're burning away these illusions. Yeah, it's like that's not real. Yeah, it's like ignoring negative self-talk because it's not even you saying it to yourself. It's some type of weird cycle that could have closed or something like that, or some type of weird energy that just kind of floats through the ethers. I just heard this too soon shall pass. Just let the thought pass. It's not your thought. It doesn't belong to you. I just heard the Holy Spirit say, take what belongs to you and leave the rest. By way of energy and high frequency. Yeah, I can't make this up. The Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. Stay focused on this. This is where we're at. I will attest that I'm definitely resonating with this reading. Nine of Swords in the reverse. Yeah, we're over these illusions. We're over it. This is like coming out of the dark night of the soul. This is also like being well with the Akaashic records, but no longer needing to go back into those old memories. Like it's over. The Sun and the Ten of Pentacles. This is where we're at. This is what we're manifesting together. I'm so proud of us. I'm so proud of us, Divine High Priestess activated. I'm just so proud that we have activated our High Priestess nature, that we're tapping into our divinity so good with the Sun's energy and the Ten of Pentacles. I feel like the Sun also represents going out into nature, getting some sun, and the Ten of Pentacles is earth energy, getting grounded. Yeah, look, Two of Wands, so that you can see what's your next move, so that you can see your way through, so that you know where you're going. The Two of Wands also represents the journey. Didn't that card talk about the journeys? Yeah, it says, the experience is always more memorable than the actual destination or object you desire. If you think more about the destination than the actual journey, then you will miss out on all of the lively and lovely experiences while on the way. Don't measure success by where you have been, the past. Nine of Swords in the reverse. I love it. But by where it is that you have learned to put your energy and what you've learned in your journeys. Focus in on what you've learned along the way. Being mindful, being in the present moment. I love that. Ten of Pentacles, the Sun, Two of Wands, and the Six of Pentacles. This is balance. This is like equal give and take between you and the universe for the work that you do. The High Priestess is a very important part of humanity, a very important person, a VIP, if you will, of humanity. So you need a dream team. And so with the Two of Wands, that could represent vision. Six of Pentacles represents balance. The Sun getting into nature. The Ten of Pentacles getting grounded, going into nature. But equal give and take with nature, naturally. Come through, High Priestess. We're no longer in this Nine of Swords energy. Yeah, I can't make this up. The Four of Wands. Something about happiness. Something about celebration. Something about being around people where you're happy. Yeah, projecting that out. You know, there's an exercise that I encourage people to do on my other platform, Healing Lives with Positivity 24/7, 365, where I said we're just going to obsessively, compulsively, deliberately for the next 24 hours, just focus on all things positive, no matter what happens. No matter what happens, what comes, what goes, no matter who tries to throw you off, if somebody cuts you off in traffic, just obsessively, compulsively, deliberately saying, I'm happy, I'm happy, I'm happy. I promise you, within a 24-hour span, you will have said, I'm happy thousands of times, probably losing count. But there's something about the triggering of being committed to I'm happy. It's like a mind hack. It's like a body hack. The body starts to feel lively. I'm joyful. I'm love. I'm this. I am is a very powerful way to begin any type of internal conversation. The conversations that happen within are really the only ones that matter, because the external is only going to represent so much of what is going on within you. But if you're in alignment, right, which I hope that we are, or even if you get out of alignment, don't stay out of alignment for too long. Lovingly guide yourself right on back. You're like, wait a minute, let me get out of this energy. What can I do for myself to raise my vibration? Nine of Swords in the reverse. That's good mental health. So we did that obsessively, compulsively. Now, I'm also going to challenge people, even like, let's just do it now for the next 365 days. Commit to being positive, no matter what happens, as best you can. And if you fall off, recognize it immediately. Don't stay there long. Just turn that Nine of Swords into reverse and go out into nature, and always ask yourself, how are you doing? How are you feeling? It's so important to check in with yourself, High Priestess, because you have so many people that admire you, that look up to you, that need you, that want readings, that are watching readings, ex-lovers. People are watching you, okay? Because you're the star of your family. It is so important to always check in with yourself. How you doing today? How you feeling today? If you don't know how to do that, find a mirror. Look in the mirror, look into your own eyes. Hey, how you doing? You need anything? You all right? Okay. Okay, you feeling a little bit weird? Maybe you feel like the energy is off? Okay, that's what's up. Well, let's just take a deep breath. These are inner conversations. These are real conversations that we have with ourselves by way of going within. Are you okay today? How you feeling today? Okay, what is it that you need? What is it that it's going to take in order for us to get you back into the sun's energy? Because this is not your energy. Remember, you're committed to positivity 24/7, 365. Why not? You can be. That's a good thing to be addicted to. These are good addictions. Being addicted to positive thoughts about myself and my environment is absolutely something that is a good addiction. And so if I fall off track, I want to be the first one to know that, hey, I'm slipping into darkness. Slipping into darkness, and I heard my higher self say, don't go slipping into darkness. You got to know what to do. You got the antidote. Nobody knows you like you. And if you don't know yourself, I encourage you to continue to stay in this energy until you get to know yourself with the Six of Swords, because you have the antidote to heal yourself. This is tapping in. Six of Swords is sailing to calmer waters, but within. So you'd never go without. Seven of Wands, setting healthy boundaries, being mindful of your environment, protecting yourself, guarding your heart, guarding your crown chakra. High Priestess, you are activated. You are your own dream team, and everything else comes after that. You are the High Priestess. I cannot make this up. I love this card. Look at the High Priestess card. Look at the way she sits there, all knowing, very calm, very still, very peace be still. Balanced in between the light and the dark, big yin yang energy. She understands the scrambling of the moon and how the moon, look at the moon at her feet. She understands that. She understands that people act kind of weird under the moon, but she's grounded. Look at how stable she is. She's not being tossed to and fro. And if she gets a little tossed, or maybe a little tossed to and there or to and fro, she knows how to pull herself back up. And he, right? He could be a high priestess as well. There is no gender by way of divine high priestess being activated. 7 of Wands, protection. 6 of Swords. Yeah, you're coming out as the divine feminine. Look at the way you're giving birth to love. Look at the heart. Look at the way you're holding on to your womb. Look at the way you are in this fertile energy. There's something very radiant about giving birth to a new version of yourself. There's something really exciting about changing something that maybe you thought you never could change. Or maybe you never thought you needed to change it. But coming to a decision, High Priestess and the Empress energy, 4 Wands energy, balancing out your twin flame energy within. Left side, feminine energy, where your heart chakra is in alignment, connected to your root chakra as you're grounded. Right side, masculine energy, but giving birth to a new version of yourself is always really exciting because it takes planning. One has to see who they want to be in order to become it. One has to be honest, because in order to become somebody new, absolutely, High Priestess, you will need to remove some things. You will need to pull away from some things. You will need to cut away some things that cannot go with you into your new self. Okay? Grounded. Something about being grounded. There's a lot of earth energy here. The God of Pentacles, the God of Earth, reminds me of Obatala, the God of Purity. Yeah, that reminds me of Obatala. The Empress reminds me of the mother of all, divine feminine energy. Obatala, the energy that we're tapping into, High Priestess, is a major Orisha. You know, Orisha means controller of consciousness or a deity of the Most High God. It says, in the Yoruba religion, representing wisdom, purity, peace, creation, and often seen as the father of all of humanity. So the father of all. Obatala is the earth. Obatala was tasked by the supreme God, creator of all things, with molding the minds and the heads onto the human beings. This was his part by way of creation. So the Most High God gave Obatala permission or responsibility to mold the crowns onto every human being. The God of Pentacles, staying grounded. This is like seeing the world as your family. High Priestess, oftentimes you're seen as the mother and the father of all, because people come to you. They seek you out to assist them. You help them on their journey. You don't enable them. This is not that type of relationship. Instead, you are a real spirit guide. You have divine insight. You remember the part in the movie The Matrix, y'all, part 1, where Neo goes to the Oracle, and as soon as he walks in, she has her back turned to him and she says, don't worry about that vase. And she predicted that he would knock that vase over. And she said to him, now don't go thinking too hard as to whether or not you would have knocked that vase over had I not said that you would. But the conversation goes on to her telling him, you are not the one. She looks at his hands and she's like, I'm sorry, kid, you're not the one. So later in the movie, you know, there comes a time by way of destiny or something that was predicted, or by way of foresight, when she said, you're going to have to choose your life over somebody else's. And he said, this can't be. I'm not the one. And I remember his teacher, Morpheus, said, the oracle told you what you needed to hear. Not what you wanted to know, but what you needed to hear. This is the High Priestess energy. Just because you do readings for people and you see everything, you have to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. Why? Because you have a great responsibility as the keeper of the secrets. Everything that we do, High Priestess, be this a reading, be this holding a space of love and light, giving somebody good advice, you have a great responsibility for the souls that you encounter. And this is why we're watching so many people in the spiritual community fall away. You are a part of somebody's dream team. Instrumental in their destiny, in their, like, this is a part of your contract. So not only are you adhering to the responsibility of your contract by way of extending your High Priestess nature to somebody else, you're now absolutely looking at it by way of seeing it through somebody else's eyes and saying, whoa, this is a soul that I'm dealing with. This is somebody's journey. It is very important. I have to tell them what they need to hear, not what they want to hear. I encountered beautiful High Priestess on my journey, and they absolutely did this to me. And I remember one of them, I was going through the dark night of the soul, and I remember one of them told me, she says, you don't need me anymore. She says, you got a great life ahead of you. She was like, you're going to be known all over the world. I remember feeling angry at her. I was so mad. Like, they trying to kill me out here. I'm in the 9 of Swords and I got a warlock, husband. Like, what are you talking about? I was like, all over the world? When? Girl, what? Forget all that. But she told me what I needed to hear, not what I wanted to hear. What I wanted was a savior. And what she was telling me was, you're going to have to save yourself. Sometimes the High Priestess has the hardest job because you have to allow things to play out in a way that people see who they need to see within themselves, as opposed to reaching out, as opposed to going within more than anything. It forced me to go in and see the truth. She told me the truth. Ace of Swords, she told me the truth. I was so angry. I was so afraid. I said, what do you mean I don't need you anymore? Like, I've been coming to you for 3 years. Like, I need you. I can't imagine you not in my life. She was a part of my dream team. She was absolutely a part of my dream team, though. She really was. If not just for that moment, she held a space of love and light for me. She was patient. She was honest. She was stern, and she still had her own life to adhere to. I feel like that's the biggest misconception about people when they know that you're the High Priestess or you are a spiritual practitioner helping people, like a real spirit guide in the flesh and in the spirit, is that you don't have your own life. No, one thing the High Priestess has learned is to not overextend herself and overstep her bounds. You must expect that people at some point will not need you the way they once needed you. And you need to put yourself in position mentally, physically, spiritually to be okay with that. Because at some point they have to go on their own journey by way of following and seeking out the truth. This was one of many teachers that I had. I was so angry at her. I was so hurt. But she saw my future. She was like, you're going to be great. I'm like, what? I was so pissed off. I was so angry. Like, I was so mad. But why? She didn't want to enable me. And she didn't. And she never came off her throne. And she never told me what I wanted to hear. She always told me what I needed to hear at the time. And it built my confidence. Queen of Wands energy. It was about confidence. So when we encounter people that are going through their journeys, the biggest misconception is that they can come in and project all their stuff onto you. Okay, I'm going through this, I'm going through that, I'm going through... Okay, relax. What I've learned, honestly, is yes, everybody has a story that deserves to be told. But when you know how to navigate through these frequencies in a way that you hold a space of love and light for somebody that's healthy, you will absolutely encourage them by way of being the High Priestess to focus on the positive. Because a lot of people, by the time they come to you, High Priestess, they've been through so much. They just want to tell somebody their story. And that too is okay. That's okay. I don't mean to shun their story. But at some point, one has to set a boundary and say, okay, now what? The world, the cycle's over. One has to call judgment down on themselves. Hey, I call judgment down on myself. Righteous judgment over the past. 6 of Cups. Some people are either too far in the future, too far in the past, and ignoring the now. Right now is really all it is. Right now is really all we have. And this is really where the focus lies. Yeah, 3 of Swords. A lot of heartbreak, a lot of heartache. The High Priestess's destiny has not been easy. It doesn't mean that she's exempt from any trials and tribulations, but she's learned how to navigate difficult terrains by way of emotions. Why? Because that took a lot of isolation, a lot of going within, a lot of telling yourself the truth. As much as I wanted to hold my teacher's hands forever, they had to let me go. One of them even told me, she was like, you're a chief. She was like, you're not supposed to have no godmother. She's like, you're a chief. Yeah, the God of Wands. I had to fight the Goddess of Wands and the God of Wands. I had to go to war with myself. 3 of Swords with my own heart. 6 of Cups with the past. Judgment. Judgment had been called down. Which means that my ancestors were now telling me, hey, listen, we got a destiny for you. You going to answer the call or you not? Or you want to sit here talking about this, this, and this, and this? Yes, we know that was wrong. Yes, we know what they did. Yes, they did this. They said, okay, this is what the universe is saying, High Priestess. I'm not exempt. So I'll always include myself in these readings because I know that a real High Priestess can resonate. And we're best to go have these conversations, but amongst other High Priestess and a beautiful energy of balanced energy and frequencies with the 2 of Pentacles. Yeah, Goddess of Wands and a God of Wands. Listen, High Priestess, your journey has not been easy, but guess what? You make it look easy peasy, child. Look at this here. Justice. So when they see you, look at you in this Empress energy, looking all beautiful. You don't look like none of the tears that you had to cry. You don't look like none of the swords that you had to take out your back. And people are like, oh my God, High Priestess, you're so activated. I love your energy. And you just come with the Ace of Swords and you tell the truth and you can see the greatness in them and you can see the potential. You know when to give your wise advice and you know when to be quiet. You also have come to the realization you cannot help everybody. That's the best thing I feel I ever figured out. Look, the Son of Pentacles in the reverse. You cannot help everybody. For some of us, it's our children. For some of us, it's our family. For some of us, it's our own siblings. You cannot help everybody. For some of us, it was our parents, right? But this journey is personal. It's so personal. It really doesn't have anything to do with anybody else but yourself. And once you eliminate everybody else around you, you've activated your High Priestess nature. And not only that, you're being honest with yourself about yourself. It's easy to extend the truth to other people. Once you've decided that you yourself need to be honest with yourself about yourself and where it is that you're going, once you answer the call, it's a package deal. With that comes the Ace of Swords. The stakes are high. The Keeper of Secrets. You know, sometimes you got to sit back and you know that your ex is still doing spell work over you, but you don't even say nothing. You just stay quiet and you continue to maintain your frequency. You might feel like somebody's still giving you the evil eye, or you know, you might just stay quiet and they're like, oh, he didn't react. She didn't react. Yeah, because, you know, we already see what's going to happen. That took time. That's molding. That's shaping from the inside out. That's a lot of maturity. That's a lot of power. To be able to stay grounded like that. The Chariot. I cannot make it up. to answer the call or not to answer the call. With the Chariot is forward movement. You answered the call, so you have to adhere to the contract. Now I'm on this divine contract as the High Priestess. This is what Divine High Priestess activated represents. Now I'm on this divine contract. Now what? Now what? You meet people along the way. The Knight of Cups and the Upright. Friends. People that have been through things like you. They're growing. They're learning. Everybody wants to be celebrated, right? So now that you're walking in the truth and you're celebrating yourself, you're naturally attracting people. We are naturally attracting people in a high vibration. Look at the celebration. It looks like they're all just celebrating one another, but really they're celebrating themselves in the presence of one another. And it's a really big celebration. It's okay to celebrate yourself in the presence of other people, and they're celebrating themselves in the presence of other people. It will never present a problem, because at the end of the day, you're the one that has to live with your decisions that you made, the things that you said. You know, sometimes we sit back after a long day and we think about how the day went, and you replay it in your mind like a movie. And you ask yourself, well, wow, did I do everything I was supposed to do? Wow, I wish I had said that differently. Or, whoa, when that person said this to me, I wish I had you know, whatever, however you play that back in your mind, right? Yeah. This is why it's so important to be in the moment. So if you should happen to play back those moments or recant the day by way of a recap, you remember it was all good. What a beautiful day I had. Wasn't perfect, but I really did strive to be happy. Sometimes that is the goal. That's the accomplishment for the day. Like staying sane. Okay, you know, not being too like not being pulled to and fro by social media or what's in the news or what the world got going on. Sometimes being happy is the accomplishment. Yeah, look, 5 of Wands. Being aware that people don't like you. They're angry. She thinks she's better than us. Oh, they think they're better than us. Oh, he thinks he's this because he's that. They don't even know your story. Because you don't look like what you've been through. Like no parts of you looks like what you've been through. People look at you, High Priestess, and they see beauty. They see how handsome you are for my divine masculines. Look at the 10 of Wands. They do not know. Look at the 10 of Wands. Look at how beautiful and radiant she looks, carrying responsibilities. They're like, you don't know nothing. You like, look at this person. Look at how beautiful and radiant she looks. She's figured out a way to carry her 10 of Wands to make her burdens light. She says, oh, I'll just carry them on my head. It's easier that way. 5 of Wands. So then you got people that are in competition with you about your story. They try to out-trauma you, you know? Like, yeah, it's okay. Or the way you discuss your story might make somebody feel like you should still be upset about it. I don't know, right? Reliving those moments out loud. It's a learning experience. It's a privilege, though, for somebody to be on the receiving end of your story. It's so interesting. It's such a beautiful experience to relive your experiences in the presence of people that are comfortable with who they are, and you're comfortable with who you are, and you can share in your experiences. I love remembering how my life played out. And every time I think about it, I'm like, it's all good. The other day, I thought about my marriage, and I saw myself in a real light. I found a picture of myself in the beginning of the marriage. And when I tell you I was snatched, honey. And then I saw a picture of myself when I came out of the marriage. And I said, okay, here are 2 versions of myself. What's the difference internally? My spirit was different. I had learned some things about myself. You know, every situation that we have, we need to baptize it and rename it something really good. So every time you remember it, you're like, oh yes, that's the relationship that taught me etiquette. Oh yes, that's the relationship that taught me how to love myself more. Oh, that's the relationship where I learned how to set boundaries. Because ultimately, that's really what those relationships were. So how they live in your forever by way of your memories is absolutely something that you yourself control. How you remember things, how you replay it, and how it plays out absolutely is a decision. It's something that somebody has to decide on an energetic level. Hey, how do I plan to feel about this for the rest of my life? Because being bitter is absolutely not going to change what actually happened. It happened that way. Now, some people get very sophisticated and they imagine things in a different way because that's what they need in order to move forward. Whatever it is, you are your own dream team. Always finding what you need in order to make sure that you're okay is always going to be a form of self-love and self-care. 9 of Cups, wishes fulfilled. Purity, purification, Piscean energy. Visions, dreaming, see it, say it, want it, it happens. 5 of Wands, yeah, you got people competing with you, but they're really not competing with you. They're not. What they're doing is they're fighting to live. They're fighting to stay alive. Envy, jealousy. It's a fight to live. It's a fight to feel good. It's a fight to get something that they believe that you want. But if you told them what you had to go through in order to be this person, they would turn all of whatever they thought you were back over to you. They're like, yeah, that's your life. I definitely cannot wear these shoes. If you told them what you had to go through, oh my God, I love your energy. I love, 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 love. You're like, mm-hmm. 10 of Swords. So you have some people that unfortunately lack life skills. They've not acquired the skills to get them through life, which is a form of arrested development. Maybe they're stuck in a memory. Maybe they're stuck in a 10 of Swords situation. These are not easy situations to get out of when you go against the grain. One just has to surrender, in my opinion, to what has happened, accept it, and take accountability for the role that you played. This is how you become the Hierophant. You get closer to God. The Hierophant is not just the Hierophant. The Hierophant is seeing yourself in the image of God. For you and the Creator are one. But seeing yourself in a way that is conducive to your life, conducive to your higher self, conducive to your High Priestess being activated, maintaining yourself, doing self-checks, you know. We get our cars checked. You know, it's like an oil check, a maintenance. One should always check in with themselves. One should always do body maintenance. Check in. How you feeling? What's that? What are you feeling? Are you feeling okay? Are you doing okay? This is getting closer to God. It's absolutely important and conducive to your journey. No 2 lives are the same. Everybody has their own story. And sometimes we hear other people's stories and we're like, oh my God. Yeah. One should never compare their traumas. Because the way our lives are set up, we never set ourselves up to take on more than what we could bear. And when we felt like we couldn't bear it, it absolutely did make us lay down and surrender. 10 of Swords. But this is really, the 10 of Swords, honestly, is really where you start to learn healing. It's like unexpected change. It's like, oh, this caught me off guard. Whoa, I thought I was going to be in love. Oh, I thought this was my family. Oh, I thought these people liked me. Whoa, how did I end up here? This is unexpected. 10 of Swords is like ultimate betrayal, something that you could not have foreseen. So maybe after betrayals like this, High Priestess, you could have gotten into an energy of not expecting anything from anybody but yourself. And now this is how you're manifesting your dreams, your wishes fulfillment. Because you surrendered the idea of romanticizing that everybody is perfect. You absolutely could be somebody's monster in their story. But in your mind's eye, hey, you did good. There's your side, there's their side, and there's everybody else's side, right? And then there's what actually happened. So remembering that, realizing that. Now, some of us, I'm going to be honest, 99.9% of us, the reason why justice and judgment is so righteous right now, so important, is because a lot of us really were innocent people. We were really in that Queen of Cups energy, overextending our love, being overly loving. Some of us come from religious backgrounds. We were told, you know, just be kind, keep loving, keep this, keep that. And you had people that just kept putting daggers in your back. You're like, wait, this is not making sense. But that was the lesson. Hey, you're the Queen of Cups. You're the Queen of Cups that could have gone from the Queen of Cups to the Queen of Swords too. Setting boundaries. Two of Pentacles. This is what's brought us into balance. The High Priestess has to always seek balance. The High Priestess has to stay in balance. Give me more, Holy Spirit. Yeah, the Fool. Something about taking a leap of faith and taking a chance. This is like loving in a way like you've never gone through any pain. Just open to love for yourself. Receptive. On the receiving end of all good things. High self-esteem. Knowing that you deserve it. That I'm getting exactly what I deserve. Eight of Wands. And this is a conversation. Eight of Wands is about communication. Swift communication. Swift communication. This could be shifting your energy from the Nine of Swords in the reverse to maybe a good conversation. Maybe you catch yourself. There were times when I was going through my journey, I would catch myself and I would literally say, and I'd be in the presence of myself. Nobody else would be there. And I'd say, I'm tired of thinking about this. So it's like, well, why am I thinking about it? Like, get rid of it. What are you going to do with it? Do you need to write it down on a piece of paper? Do you need to burn it? Like, I was always really bold with myself. Even at my lowest moments, I was always bold. I was always outspoken in those inner conversations, because these were things that I was told I couldn't be on the external by way of, like, you know, having dominating parents or, you know, religion or whatever. So I would have those real conversations internally. And once I decided, hey, the truth really does set you free, it was easy for me to speak my truth to other people. It wasn't hard. I was always able to be honest with other people, but I couldn't say that I was extending that same kindness to myself. Why not? These are the conversations of the High Priestess. Why not? Why are you not extending the same kindness to yourself? So when I began to do that, it was like, look, real conversations. I was like, get your shit together. You need to leave him. You need to leave this job. You know you're tired of being here. This is the way I was talking to myself. I'm sitting here looking at a 5, 6, 7, 8 carat ring. Child, I don't know. He kept upgrading the ring because he wanted my soul. Listen. I said, give the ring back, break up, do this, whatever. These are life-changing events. But ultimately, you're on a journey. And so if you ever feel stuck in a story that you no longer want to be in, the High Priestess has the power to activate her higher self and rewrite the story. Change the cast of characters. But first, you got to decide to be somebody new. Some of us had to lose it all. Some of us left it all behind. Some of us had money stolen from us. Look, 4 of Swords. Always looking for a peaceful moment. Feeling restless, but very tired. Some of us had near-death experiences. Yeah. 2 of Cups, remember? You had moments where you thought this was your person, your forever person. Nobody's a forever person. Just in my opinion, nobody's a forever person. Trust me. Even if you get married, one of you will expire before the other. These are real conversations. Nobody's a forever person. With the 4 of Swords, it's like, you know, devastation after heartbreak, breakups. knowing that somebody put you in the Ten of Swords. Maybe somebody that you didn't anticipate. Maybe somebody that you showed a lot of love to. So how did I overextend myself? These are questions. Maybe you went into hermit. Maybe you're deciding to be single. Maybe you're deciding not to be married again. Right? Yeah, I cannot make this up. Maybe you're single, self-sufficient, the goddess of pentacles, and independent. Come through. Feminine energy or masculine energy. Although these cards are really like focused more on divine feminine energy, I need my masculines to know that the High Priestess activated is absolutely your feminine energy within. You need both feminine and masculine energy in order to thrive. The two have to be equally yoked, in balance. Feminines, don't block off your femininity, because after you go through stuff like this could snatch your femininity if you allow it to, right? So then we start to question ourselves. Well, am I beautiful? You know, am I small enough? Am I big enough? You know, these are conversations that are real. And you're still a goddess on a journey with a purpose. It doesn't negate the fact that you have higher contracts. But it's the inner nurturing. It's the nurturing oneself. It's the taking care of yourself and knowing that everything else will adjust itself by way of your alignment. Yeah, your desires. Look at the devil. The desires. The devil represents all things 3D. Sex, money, desires. Am I sexy? Am I cute? Am I this? Am I that? Am I... Well, to somebody you are, and hopefully that somebody is you. But situations like this will have you questioning your self-esteem, your self-worth. Ten of Swords. Because it's like, why, how did I end up here? Why did this happen? What happened here? But in reality, with the Nine of Cups and the High Priestess energy and the Empress energy, you know that it had to happen that way. Come through, High Priestess. You are your dream team. Your dream team are your guardian angels. Your divine ancestors. Going within is your supernatural power. Being still in the presence of what might appear to be chaotic. You must know that that too is an illusion on the external. Why is this illusion here? Sometimes people are projecting their energy onto you because they want to know who you are. And they'll watch you, and you could be as interesting as a rock sitting in one place. Because one thing about the High Priestess, you can't just tap into their psyche. You can't just dive in and see what they got going on. And this is why a lot of people projecting out nasty energy with the Five of Wands, they find themselves in turmoil. Because once you've mastered the Hermit energy going within, Ace of Swords and the High Priestess, there's like a protective shield that literally blocks anything that's not of your highest good. Remember, you've mastered levels of unfortunate pain, trauma, some of which belong to you, some of which did not. So with the Five of Wands and the Ten of Wands, people wanting to know, how did you do that? This is really what they want to know. When people are jealous and envious, they really want to know, what's your story? How did you do that? Or they want to claim that maybe you haven't gone through anything. Why do we have to go through something really hard in order to be radiant and beautiful and be in the High Priestess energy? The fact of the matter is you have, but you don't look like it. You've been activated. The divine has restored you, restored your youth, restored your life, restored your money, restored your edges. Okay? Some of y'all are cutting your hair. You may have cut your hair to cut off the energy, right? My hair was long, y'all. Long, curly, big hair. People, oh my God, I love your hair. Oh my God, it's so curly. It's so da, 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 da. It was all the way down my back. I said, you know what? This is the first thing that people show that they admire about me. And when I left that relationship, I shaved my head bald. Oh my God, you talk about causing a stir. Oh my, they was like, oh, you cut your hair. Oh my God. Oh, like people were really devastated. I'm like, oh my God. Like, oh, let's see who likes me now. You know, because I didn't want people to be more focused on my aesthetics. And I felt like it was a spiritual thing for me. It was a decision that I made. It wasn't an act of vanity, not vanity. It wasn't an act of like people pleasing. It was a spiritual thing. I went within and I heard spirit say, cut your hair. I shaved my whole head bald. And for weeks, I just kept rubbing my head. I was like, oh my God. I felt so stimulated. I felt so free. It makes me want to cry. I felt so doggone free, honey. I had never felt my head. I was always told, don't cut your hair. You know, my mom would tell me, don't cut your hair, don't cut your hair. Long hair, long hair. All the women in my family, they had hair to their waist, their back. And I said, you know what? I'm going to do what I need to do for me. And the first thing I need to do is break away from what everybody else is telling me about me. Sift through the advice and take only what I felt I needed to take at the time and what I needed. What is it that you need, High Priestess? This is what you should always be asking yourself. What's going to make me happy? What is it that I need? Maybe it's painting your nails lime green, so do it. Oh, but he doesn't like my nails lime green, or she doesn't like my hair like this. Well, they don't like you, so why are you with somebody that's trying to put you in a position to create you to be somebody that you're not? Who is it that they want you to be? Because whoever that person is, they need to go be with that person. Yeah. They're healthy compromises. And then there's some compromises that is just like, they're non-compromisable. So I shaved my head. Oh my God. Felt so good. And I would do it 3 more times after that. Then I grew it all the way out again to my shoulders and I shaved it off again. I said, here I go. Because I said, what is this standard of beauty? You know what I mean? What is the standard of beauty? Oh, long hair, short hair, long hair, don't, no makeup. This, like, listen, do what you want to do. If you want to wear makeup, wear it. If you don't want to wear makeup, don't. What is going to make you happy? You are the High Priestess. This was always about filling your own cup with the emotions and the compliments that you always needed. This is like being your perfect lover, honey. Looking in the mirror and telling yourself, man, I love you. You're amazing. You're incredible. You're so creative. This is a real conversation. Becoming the lover that maybe at some point in your life you depended on somebody else to be. Self-love, making love to yourself. Having good conversations with yourself, telling yourself good things is making love to yourself. I don't feel like I'm telling the High Priestess anything that she doesn't already know. This is just something that's created by way of this reading, by way of this moment, to simply remind you, you manifested this reading and so did I. Look at these beautiful reminders that we needed. Maybe we needed some beautiful reminders, child. I love you, High Priestess, okay? You are your own dream team. Get you a dream team, whatever you conceive that to be. A dream team might be becoming a part of an art club or a Pilates club. Get out, High Priestess. It is time. You have given birth to a new version of yourself. Show up, okay? If you got one pair of pants, bless the pair of pants that you got on and show up. If you got one strand of hair, take that one strand and love it as your luxurious mane and just say, I have the best strand of hair, whatever this is. Because there really are no perfect moments. You know, sometimes, you know, we can be systematic. Okay, when I get this, I'm going to do this. When I get that, do not, I repeat, and I'm saying this to myself, put your happiness, your joy on layaway. When I get in the relationship, that's when I'm going to start working out. No. We might not say that, but sometimes those are the things that we do without realizing it. So being mindful. But the 9 of Swords in the reverse, overall energy, High Priestess, I feel like we throwing this energy in the trash, honey. Nine of Swords in the reverse: anxiety, stress, depression, low self-esteem, still mad that, you know, maybe somebody abandoned you. He left you for her and she left him for you, and like whatever. Okay, just, yeah, let it go. Everybody's where they need to be. I'm really happy that the relationships up until this point ended. The ones that I thought would last forever, I'm very grateful. You know why? Because I can see why it had to happen that way. And I feel like that's the biggest realization for the High Priestess. Once you get to a certain level in your life or on your journey, you realize, oh, it had to happen like that. Sometimes the answer doesn't come right away. The answer could come in the next 10 minutes of you closing out a cycle. It could come in the next 10 years, but the truth shows up always when you surrender it and you just see it from a different perspective. I'm just talking to myself. Thank y'all for letting me talk to myself. Coming here to share a beautiful space of love and life for you. Shout out to the people that came here and said nasty things. Listen, I really hope you figure out your life. I hope that you get it together. I noticed that whoever the person was, they erased the comment, but somebody came and said something really nasty. And, you know, I just looked at it. I didn't resonate with it. I didn't do anything with it. But I just honestly hope that whoever these people are that come to the comments and they see all this peace, love, and light, and it irritates them, and nobody's that happy, and I really, really genuinely hope that they go and get themselves together enough that they don't have to be online attacking people who they don't know or who they feel are stirring the pot by way of their demons. I really do genuinely hope that. That's not a way to exist. Life is going on. Go to the park, get on a slide, ride a bike, wash your car, organize your papers, keep yourself busy, braid your hair, oil your scalp, oil your feet, do something else. But being online is not a good place. This is a safe space for the High Priestess that has been activated. So we're very much aware of the trauma. We know what the Nine of Swords looks like. But now that we're in this age of Aquarius, y'all, I'm going to be honest. There really is no reason to be negligent. There really is no reason to be self-negligent, meaning negligent with yourself. It's not hurting anybody else. It's only hurting self when you decide to continue to stay in, like, you know, this topsy-turvy ass energy. Allowing anything to toss you to and fro. At some point, you got to take control over your energy and say, no, like, you're not having a good day. I see that. Go fix yourself, you know, and we'll get together when you're having a better day. But to come in and throw that on somebody else, yeah, the world don't work like that no more. 98% of the people have awakened, like 96%. The rest, they just catching up. Hopefully they catch up. If not, there's so much help out here. There's so many other people to get messages from. There's so many self-help books. There's so many people online. Positive affirmations, sleep state affirmations. When you go to sleep, you can play affirmations. And there's so much help to rewire your thought process, to help yourself, to fix yourself. What a time to be alive. This is such a fun time. Woo! I'm so glad that I'm alive here with y'all and that we are getting these beautiful downloads. There's so much in the world that can make you okay. Focusing in on the solution and just staying the course. I love y'all though. I do. I really do. I thank you for being here. Give this a thumbs up, like, share, love, whatever you feel you need to do. Comment respectfully. Your story could save somebody else's life. And it's a good form of therapy. You know, when we just share our stories and we transparent about it. Like, I'm not embarrassed about anything at this point in my life, you know, that I've had to go through to get to this point. So I love y'all. Share your story. Free yourself. Stay free. Free thought. Free thinkers. And I'll see you in the next video. Until then, peace be with you.